Hey, what's up? Welcome to Snackology, episode 4. This is week 8 for us, and it is just rocking and rolling. And we have a great episode prepared for you today. I'm here with my good friend Josh.
Hello. I'm here with my co-host Reed.
Hello. And we're here with you today to talk to you about the Pop-Tart, Kellogg's Pop-Tart. And we have a guest with us today, and we'll introduce him here in a minute. We're first actually going to go right into where we left off last week, and we're going to do our how we felt afterwards of the Ruffles Crispy Fries.
Yep.
And so, Josh, why don't you go first?
I felt fine.
I would agree. Yeah. I felt fine as well. Do you want to talk about what happened afterwards, how we kind of ran into each other?
Immediately afterwards, I guess not immediately, like an hour afterwards, I decided to go on a bike ride to burn off them calories. And I saw you at the park where I was riding my bike, and it was strange.
Yeah, we just ran right into each other. It was beautiful, and
I almost ran into your car.
I was really happy to see you, actually.
I was happy to see you, but I was embarrassed because I was wearing half pants.
He was also
as I do when I exercise.
And you were also out of breath.
Yeah, so I was very out of breath. So I was like, it's weird to see you.
But you said you were feeling pretty all right.
Yeah, I was feeling all right.
I'd have to agree too. I actually took pictures after our podcast, and that's where we ran into each other. I was at a park taking pictures, and I felt fine for a good while, and I didn't even think about it afterwards. I didn't even think about being hungry afterwards for a good while, so I was good too.
I think I ate dinner that night, but I don't remember what because it was too long ago.
I agree. We even have trouble sometimes just remembering what snack we did 2 weeks ago. So
I 100% forgot until you reminded me like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I think that way we can just keep up to date. And then if just in case you forgot too, unless you're listening to these over and over, then we probably sound like idiots. But that's what happens sometimes.
If you're listening to this and you think like, man, those guys need to get their life together, you could not be more right.
We have some serious issues. So I think that pretty much takes care of how we felt in the past 2 weeks ago. So let's go ahead and roll right into our guest. We are proud to introduce our first guest, one of my best friends for many, many years, Taylor Punch.
These guys were little boys.
Yeah, we were young people.
Just wanting to be big boys.
And so, introducing my good friend, Taylor Punch.
Hello.
You can talk now. Taylor was
good
instructed.
to be here with the Legends, the fastest growing podcast on iTunes, Snackology.
Probably in the nation, right?
Now, this may have been because you searched for us prior, but you did say that whenever you go in the iTunes store, you type in snack, and it autofills to the Snackology podcast.
iTunes snore, that's what I call it sometimes.
Yeah, and it's because I just said that. So, you picked the snack this week. We had you pick the snack this week.
He's a weird gentleman.
I did. It was a tall task, but can we announce it?
Yeah.
We are doing Pop-Tarts.
Boom.
So I like to call them Pop-Tarts. I like to...
Let's make it a bit slower.
Pop-Tarts. I like to do 2 words instead of 1.
And why Pop-Tarts? Why Pop-Tarts?
Longtime favorite of mine. One of the most versatile snacks on the planet. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
It could be a simple snack. It could be a full breakfast if need be. It can be had toasted or non-toasted, or dare I say microwaved.
Oh.
That is one thing I've never done is microwave.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess around with it.
When I told Bree, my wife,
your ex-girlfriend,
yeah, who I'm currently married and plan on being married to,
have a child.
Yeah, we have a little guy wanting to be a big guy.
A big what?
A big buy. He wants to be a big,
like Best Buy.
Yeah, and when I told her we were doing Pop-Tarts, she's like, Pop-Tarts are not a snack. It's a breakfast food. And I was like, you've never snacked on Pop-Tarts. And she's like, no, they're a breakfast food. Like, I've never gone to grab a Pop-Tart in the middle of the day. But I have. I disagreed, and I'm like, I'll bring it up.
I have as well.
That's the good thing about Pop-Tarts. You can have them any time of the day. It's a great cereal substitute, which I'm a cereal lover. But sometimes you don't always have the time to
You
have
can talk about cereal for
a proper bowl of cereal.
probably for a
Pop-Tarts.
good 45 minutes.
Now, are you the kind of person with cereal that you kind of stack it to the top and then just kind of fill the milk underneath, or do you do the proper level and then?
No.
So you're cereal first and then milk.
The proper serving size for a bowl of cereal, as stated on the label, is 3/4 of a cup. I mean, I
a
can't even
joke.
explain how little cereal that is.
It is a
I
joke.
probably put at least 5 cups per bowl.
If anybody's ever seen what 3/4 of a cup looks like, in that, it's terrible. It's weak sauce is what it is.
So do you pour the cereal first and then the
yeah.
milk?
No, I'm not an amateur. Yeah, I put the cereal in and then the milk over it.
It's just so people know, Taylor knows what he's doing.
Yeah, you'd
when it
want
comes
to
cereal.
moisten the cereal before you consume it.
Yeah.
Well, because then you're gonna have a bunch of floaters.
It'd be
as
weird
people
if you
would say.
put milk in the bowl first. It'd be weird.
Yes.
If you do that, you can tweet us, and I urge you to stop.
Yeah,
Yes.
you need to fix
I agree.
this because this is a problem. So you know your way around breakfast foods, I'd say.
I know my way around a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not getting a Pop-Tart in the middle of the day isn't something that I'd regularly do. However, I've done it, and I wasn't disappointed by doing it.
No.
Nothing.
And I mean, with the number of flavor variations they have now, you're not going to get tired of Pop-Tarts. And if you do, there's something wrong with
See,
you.
call me old-fashioned, but I think Pop-Tart. I just like the basic flavors. Like I don't really go for the crazy flavors.
So you don't like hot fudge sundae on your
don't.
Pop-Tart?
No, and then like the crazy raspberry flavors. Like no, thank
Yeah.
you. I'll just take it. It's a plain fruit.
No, we were kind of the same way about the Oreo. We were kind of against all the crazy flavors, watermelon.
So are you for the crazy
Fruit
flavors?
punch Oreos and all
Yeah.
that. Do what?
Are you for the crazy flavors?
It depends. I mean, like you said, raspberry is definitely not my cup of tea. Hot fudge sundaes, anything kind of chocolatey is I really like, but I don't like to get too crazy.
I feel like I want to say that I've had one of those, but I just don't know. It's been too long if I have.
Yeah, they have like chocolate chip cookie dough, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
They've got
just
a lot.
like, just give me one fruit flavor.
Yeah, and
I respect that.
And two, just to kind of tie everybody in case you're wondering, I think it was 2 episodes ago. Yeah, it was 2 episodes ago whenever we were doing the Nabisco Handy Snacks. We had mentioned our friend who had been in the UK for a little while, helped us out with the whole biscuits thing. That's this guy talking to you right now. But that helped us define what a UK biscuit actually is.
It's still, I mean, there's no real proper definition. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, Taylor, I want to hear about them UK snacks.
I'll be honest, UK snacks are not as good as American snacks.
Whoa.
I
Surprise.
mean, I don't know. They don't really like their sweets as much as we do, which is probably why we're, the most obese nation.
Right.
But
Now I know there's a stereotype against British people that they have real bad teeth. Is that true?
I would probably yes. Yes, actually, yes.
Because I know
Confirmed.
on Top Gear they make fun of Richard for having American teeth, right?
Because he whitens his
because he
teeth.
has nice
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah, and they say he's basically an American because he likes cowboy boots and American muscle cars, and he has a Harley Davidson and a straw hat.
Sounds like Engineer Colton. You're describing Engineer Colton.
Farmer is what he is. And so so you know your way around the UK. So
What's the pastry game in the UK?
The pastry game is actually pretty strong. They took a lot of cues from their neighbors. Well, I mean, not direct neighbors, but their neighbors, France. And their pastries are very strong.
'Cause in France, they have pastries like every morning for breakfast.
Yeah, croissants. And,
croissant.
But yeah, it's pretty strong. The whole bread game, the yeast game, it's pretty strong in the UK.
Nice.
So what would you say is like if they were to have a popular snack? I think American's a popular, most popular snack would be like maybe a Hershey's bar or Oreo or something like that. Just something that you could pick out and say every UK has at least had one of those. Every UK member has had one of those. Can you think of something that may be? Or is it kind of generalized like cake and crisps?
Yeah.
The doctor likes little jellies.
I don't know actually on that. I don't think they really have like a signature.
Because we have hamburgers and hot dogs.
Jelly, baby.
And I don't know that's not a snack, but the Americans have hamburgers.
I mean, the UK is actually pretty often criticized for having terrible food, which I didn't find it terrible, but I wouldn't call it great by any means.
Did you have haggis?
I did not. I did not have haggis, but I heard about it.
Sheep stomach, right?
I believe so.
I'm interested.
I actually heard it was good.
I'm interested.
There's a lot of food that you'd think sounds disgusting. Like for me, I was real picky about what I would eat. I was chicken strips only. Sometimes I still am, but I've experimented. My fiance's parents owned a Mexican restaurant. And I tried a lot of new things, and I found a lot of new things that I liked. That I whenever I found out later what they were, I was like, well, I was not expecting that.
One of the new things that you like, I still can't bring myself to try. It's called lengua.
It's
cow
What
tongue.
is that?
Is it cow tongue or pig tongue?
It's cow
It's cow tongue. I've heard
cow
about
tongue.
it.
And it's actually one of
do
my
it.
favorites. It's actually one of my favies. And it's hard. It's actually kind of difficult to find a restaurant that does it really well. Because it's an easy food to do really dry, and then it's just really boring. But the lengua burritos and barbacoa, which is actually beef cheek, which is similar.
That's what it is? I
Yeah.
get that at Chipotle every time I go.
It's yeah.
Real genuine Mexican food.
Yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff that I never
Chipotle.
thought in my entire life that I'd ever want to eat, I've found, well, that was actually super good.
One of my biggest regrets in life is not eating your ex-girlfriend's parents' lengua. Your current fiance.
Yes, it was excellent. It was excellent. I'd want to get it every time, but
that's one of my biggest regrets. One of the other ones is not investing in stock.
well, and the problem with that meat, the problem with that particular meat is it's also very expensive. So whenever you're getting, whenever you're kind
Right, because a cow's face is not as big as a cow's rib, I'd assume.
yeah.
I don't know much about cow anatomy, but their face is definitely smaller than the rest of their body.
And also, their body too is also a lot larger than the face. Unfortunately.
I was watching Bad Boys last night on Netflix.
with Will Smith.
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen it, and I actually found out that bologna or bologna to some is like all of the remains of the animal,
Oh yeah.
the ears and the stomach and the tongue and stuff.
Kind of the extra pieces,
Yeah,
just blended, basically. Don't blend that. Blend tech blenders. If anybody ever saw those videos, you know what I mean.
I can't eat bologna unless it's fried. Like I can't just open the refrigerator
fried
and just
bologna.
I've never had
just
that.
like plop a bologna in my mouth. I can't do it.
Well, I can't do it either, but I put it with bread and mayo.
Also-
and it's not so bad.
also-
Yeah, I mean,
Spam?
on Bad Boys, Martin Lawrence was having it on a sandwich, and he got called out. And then I don't want to get into it, but she said that bologna is like all the leftovers.
Yeah, and like hot dogs too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Unless it's all beef
And Spam, I don't know if it's like any part of the animal.
or Vienna sausage.
I like Vienna sausage.
I love Vienna sausage.
I know you disagree.
Yeah, it has to be like piping hot, like fried. Also, Spam, I can't like Spam has to be fried.
Fried, yeah. Ice cream has to be fried.
No way. I do dislike fried ice cream.
I-
We can
I-
get this. We can get into this later.
Yeah.
I don't like fried ice cream.
Okay.
It's with the hot and the cold. No, thank you. I don't like molten cakes. Is that what they're called?
So
Where
you
they
don't
put
like
the-
hot fudge
Oh.
sundaes?
No, I can't do hot and cold. Like where is that molten cakes where they put just a scoop of ice cream on a real hot cake, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do those.
Oh, I love it.
I'll put the ice cream off, eat the cake without anything gold on it. I can't do the hot and cold.
At Red Lobster, they have a molten cookie and it's got ice cream on top, and it's a really hot cookie. It is outstanding.
They have that at Applebee's too.
I can't do it.
It's outstanding.
It's fabulous.
The not Awesome Blossom. That's the Chili's thing. What is it called at Applebee's?
I don't remember.
The blondie or something like that. That was excellent. I can't remember.
Are you dessert? I think Awesome Blossom is like an onion.
Bloomin' Onion.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's a Outback Steakhouse.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something different.
So you can tell right now that we're not experts at the restaurant biz, but we're good at snacks.
Hey, listen, we're no experts, but we're passionate. We're just passionate bros. We like to talk about food and snacks, stuff we're passionate about.
And pop culture.
And Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. So let's get into Pop-Tarts now.
I forgot.
Let's get off of cow tongue and get on to Pop-Tarts.
Let's rock. So, Josh, do you want to do the history? I think I did it last week, or the last 2 weeks. You want to go ahead and rock at it?
This history is brought to you by Eunice Gonzalez.
At NietzscheEG on Twitter.
Thank you, Eunice, for listening and doing the research.
So
or else we would be making up facts right now. Pop-Tarts is a brand of Kellogg. I think everyone knows that. It's a Kellogg brand. It was released in 1964, so it's been around for a while. Pop-Tarts are definitely older than me.
All of us.
Here's a couple of other things Pop-Tarts are older than. They're older than the Handy Snacks from a couple weeks ago.
4 weeks ago, a whole month.
They're older than the internet.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I mean, it's a classic.
Don't fact check me on that.
And I'm just going to throw it out there. There's a lot of Pop-Tart posers in the grocery store.
They're
I would just like to call some of those brands out. Great Value. That's the only one I know.
So Great Value, stop.
No, Great Value, here's your problem. You put a dollop of icing on the Pop-Tart. The rest of it's dry and dangerous.
Is that what it is? Can you so you can tell the difference between an off-brand Pop-Tart and the Kellogg Pop-Tart?
I can. I mean, you can't replicate greatness. That's all it comes down to.
So they've tried. Pop-Tarts have been around longer than we've been on the moon.
Yeah?
Pop-Tarts were before the moon landing.
Pop-Tarts came out whenever my dad was 4. He was born in 1960. He was 4 years old when Pop-Tarts became available.
My dad was just a young lad at 12 years of age.
He's just a little boy wanting to become a big boy.
What's next?
I lost my place.
You're a third bulletin. They didn't invest. Yeah.
Okay, so Kellogg didn't invent this pastry. Sorry, I'm reading right now. They didn't invent it.
They were not the original.
See, but according to you, they perfected it.
That's
so
absolutely right.
They took an idea and made it better.
I respect that.
And they've done what others have failed to do. See, I feel like other people, instead of making it better, they just try to make what Kellogg did with the Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
See, Kellogg saw something, just stuffing a pastry with some jelly type material. What would you call the inside of the Pop-Tart? Like jelly-ish?
Cream.
Filling? I don't know. Jelly.
Yeah, jelly filling.
So they took that to a different level. Other people have just tried to mimic the success of the Pop-Tart, where Pop-Tart just changed the game completely.
So Post was actually Kellogg's biggest competitor. They were the ones that came up with this. And they wanted a pastry that could be stored in foil for months without refrigeration. They announced this new product to the press in 1963, giving them the name Country Squares. But Post revealed their product before it was ready, which gave Kellogg's the opportunity to develop their own version in just 6 months. Kellogg's would name their toaster pastry Pop-Tarts.
Which is a much better name than Country Squares.
However, do you think that they stole an idea? Since they had released it before it came up to be, do you think they took that initial idea and then destroyed Post with that? Do you think Post might have been the one to have this if Kellogg's wouldn't have done it?
You know what? Michael Jackson didn't invent the moonwalk.
I like where you're going.
But everyone knows... I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Michael Jackson from, when you think Michael Jackson, When you think good things, Michael Jackson, you think like moonwalk.
Mm-hmm.
That was his move. He stole that move. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. He made it better. Kellogg's may have stole the idea of Pop-Tart or Country Squares.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
made it better.
There's not always a need to reinvent the wheel.
No.
You just got to make the wheel better and
That's
make
true.
it perfect.
I was just asking a question.
And that's what the Pop-Tart is.
I agree completely with you guys.
Perfect.
Okay, so Kellogg's did not want retailers to place Pop-Tarts anywhere near the cereal section. Why, Kellogg's? What gives? Who cares? You know,
I'll tell you why.
be confident in your product.
Because the Pop-Tart can hold its own against any food in the grocery store.
They wanted...
That's the statement.
Kellogg's, did you want an entire aisle of just Pop-Tarts? Like nothing near the Pop-Tarts.
Oreos the same way. They got their whole section, man.
Yeah.
They got their whole thing. They're taking up that area.
Yeah, okay, so instead, they asked them to be placed with the baked goods, the cookie aisle, or even the cake mix section.
Now that's strange to me.
I don't know
the
why.
Cake mix section.
You know, when I found these Pop-Tarts, guess what they were next to?
What?
Boxes of cereal, bro.
Now it has been 40 years since they made the request.
Yeah.
Continue.
It's like, I guess this dollar store did not agree with Kellogg's ethics. Originally, the Pop-Tart was not frosted, but was later determined that the frosting could withstand the toaster. So they didn't completely have faith in their product at first.
It was just the bread part. There was no frosting on top.
And the frosting kind of makes the Pop-Tart for me.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
does.
The first Pop-Tart was actually introduced 3 years later.
First frosted Pop-Tart.
in 67.
So
yeah, the first
it was
frosted
just 3
Pop-Tart.
years of just plain Pop-Tarts.
And they seem to have done all right, the idea.
The original 4 flavors were strawberry, which we're having today.
Strawberry. yes.
Classic strawberry.
Good first on the list, too.
Blueberry, brown sugar cinnamon.
I've had that.
Not a fan.
Oh, I think it's a pretty strong offering.
And apple currant.
I don't know what that is.
Side note, currant is a type of berry.
Okay.
Incidentally, apple currant was later changed to appleberry. Berry is a better use since most people probably don't know what currant is.
Perfect. I didn't know. I was like, is this a typo? Apple currant.
Oh, now this is crazy. Since 67, Pop-Tarts had released 29 different frosting flavors. Crazy.
That is crazy.
29.
I can think of like
All the
we're talking about frosting flavors. We're not talking
Yes.
about the inside.
Well, the inside varies with the frosting sometimes.
True.
Is it like I can't think of a ton of frosting flavors. Like I know they have a chocolate.
Chocolate, the brown sugar one.
Is it like a brown sugar? on
Yeah,
top?
it's like a cinnamon. Yeah, it's like a brown sugar.
Okay. So it's probably a different frosting for each flavor. I think the strawberry and blueberry both have the white frosting.
I think a lot of the chocolate variations share the same frosting, just chocolate, like the hot fudge sundae, and I think they have chocolate chip cookie dough, s'mores.
the only competitor Kellogg's had is General Mills Toaster Strudel, which came out 18 years after the Pop-Tart. But unlike Pop-Tarts, they have to be frozen. I have had toaster strudels. I will go on the record. Very delicious.
They are very good.
See,
They are flaky. They do. I don't think they're as effective on the go.
Yeah, definitely not a snack.
Yeah.
No,
Like
that's
you
more
have
of a
you have to
meal.
work on the toaster strudel.
You have to prepare.
They have like a little packet. You have to spread your icing yourself.
Pop-Tarts gives you an option. You can pick them up and just eat them out of the box.
Yeah, if you're in a hurry,
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts are definitely... And then they have to be frozen again, so you can't just leave them in your trunk for a while, which I feel like you could do with Pop-Tarts.
Now here's an interesting one. In 92, Kellogg's was sued after a Pop-Tart got stuck in the toaster and caught on fire. I find that a little out there.
Now,
I feel that
how
may
much-
be user error.
Yeah, how much did this person
Yeah.
try? How hard did they try to get the Pop-Tart out?
Did they find a butter knife in with the Pop-Tart? Are they trying to do, V kind of thing and squeeze two knives together and get it out?
Did they try to get the Pop-Tart off with a lighter?
It's getting too barren. Let me get it out with the fork.
Let me tape a bunch of matches together and try to get this Pop-Tart out. Now,
I think we just got a dysfunctional toaster on our hands with that.
No, I think it's a stupid person.
Okay, hold on.
Dysfunctional person.
Let's read the next one before we blame humans. In 1994, a Texas A&M professor performed an experiment showing that when left in the toaster too long, strawberry Pop-Tarts, could produce flames over a foot high. The discovery triggered a flurry of lawsuits since the Pop-Tarts carry the warning, due to possible risk of fire, never leave your toasting appliance or microwave unattended.
Yeah, if you leave something
in the toaster,
and like it's stuff's gonna set on fire if you leave it in the toaster.
No matter what.
I don't think that was an epiphany. Like, he's not gonna win a Nobel Prize for discovering, like, hey, if you stick stuff in the toaster and leave it a while.
Why is that on the Pop-Tart? I mean, why are you... That's not the Pop-Tart's fault.
No, I think that's more... They're legal. Now they can say it's not our fault if you do this. You can't blame us for your dumbness.
If something fits in a toaster, it's probably just going to set on fire if you leave it there long enough.
So a Texas A&M professor performed that?
We could perform that.
We have not very professor-like. Let's put this Pop-Tart in the toaster until it catches on fire.
Dang.
Although Pop-Tarts had great success in the U.S., it wasn't until 1990 they were introduced in the U.K. That's the United Kingdom, folks.
So they have Pop-Tarts. What do they call them? Pop-Tarts?
They do have Pop-Tarts.
Do they call them Pop-Tarts?
Do they have one called crisp fish and chips Pop-Tarts?
Crisps.
I did see them in the store. I even picked a pack up while I was in the UK.
Experience.
They have the same type of flavors?
I was skeptical going in.
Except they spell flavor with a U.
They do. And it was very good, just like here in the U.S.
In 2001, the U.S. military airdropped 2.4 million Pop-Tarts in Afghanistan during the U.S. invasion.
I hope not one of them
Pop-Tarts,
got
the number
that.
one choice of U.S. soldiers.
Why wasn't that their slogan instead of Crazy Good that was introduced in 2004? Because, I mean, that's pretty generic. Crazy Good.
Yeah, I'm not super sold on their slogan.
Pop-Tarts, soldiers eat them, so why don't you?
I hope not one of them got left behind. I hope all 2.4 million Pop-Tarts were eaten and consumed by someone.
They were good enough for our boys in blue.
And the last bit of history here. This year actually is the 50th anniversary of the Pop-Tart, which is true. It's 2014. And they released several limited edition flavors, which we have decided to completely neglect, and we've gone with the original.
Mm-hmm. And some of the special flavors, milk chocolate grams. So does that mean it's made out of like graham cracker? Kind of interested in that.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Grape was one. Go ahead. Sorry,
grape sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds pretty gross.
Blueberry muffin? I'm interested.
Yeah.
Birthday cake?
Not interested.
No, thank you.
Oh, but that hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah. Oh,
Winter
yeah.
2014.
That's in the future.
Can I pre-order?
I'm sure you can on iTunes.
Okay, so there's birthday cake, which probably, and then there's chocolate vanilla cream.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it sounds tasty too. I guess I'm just not a fan of cinnamon.
Wow, and the last one is real interesting.
Olympic Team USA mixed berry with gold foil.
No, I want it just for the foil.
Wow.
So there's already a mixed berry Pop-Tart. Am I correct? That sounds like it's already a thing, a mixed berry.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so, yeah.
So they're just like slapping the Olympic rings on the case and
yeah.
Well,
So
we at least have something to look forward to.
Engineer Colton prepared our Pop-Tarts roughly 45 minutes ago.
And
so
they've been sitting here.
Yeah, they may not be warm anymore.
No, they actually are kind of warm. And let's kind of get into this. So here's what we've done. Since you can have Pop-Tarts both ways, toasted or untoasted, and there are three of us, we've prepared 3 Pop-Tarts untoasted and 3 Pop-Tarts toasted, so we can kind of get a feel for it. And we all have a mug of milk so that we don't die, because we found with Oreos that could happen.
And we went with whole milk.
Whole milk.
Good choice.
Which is, what's your preferred milk? Is it whole or 2%? Skim?
Probably whole.
Almond? Whole?
Almond milk is very good. Soy milk is not so good.
I don't like soy milk. See, I'm not a fan of milk in general. Almond milk, it doesn't really taste like milk. It tastes like almonds, which is crazy. Have you ever had almond milk?
I have with cereal, and I couldn't tell a difference.
Yeah.
You
It
couldn't
was a
tell the
last
difference.
bit.
It tastes like
It was a bit sweeter.
liquid almonds.
But if you get the unsweetened, I can't tell a difference with cereal.
It's a little bit thinner in consistency.
But then I just think of skim milk.
Yeah, but it's got I mean it's kind of like skim, I guess.
You don't taste the almonds?
Yeah, it tastes different.
That's all I taste is the almonds.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention.
Today we have whole milk.
And you know my preference. I'm a 1%er. Okay, I know this freaks people out. I can't really tell the difference unless I'm really thinking about it.
Because I don't drink milk that often, I can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, milk is like a necessity. It's like having running water. It's like you have to have milk. Although I had no milk today.
See, sometimes milk hurts my tummy.
And we found that out.
Are you lactose intolerant?
I don't know.
I've asked the same question.
See, my son can't. The only reason why I know so much about almond milk is because milk hurts his tummy.
You have a son? No, I'm just kidding.
His name is Jorge. His name is Jonas.
Jorge Dowdy.
His name is Jonas, and his head is bigger than mine.
And he's a screamer.
Yeah, he has a bowling ball for a head. I love the little guy.
So, here we are. We have 6 Pop-Tarts in front of us, 3 mugs of milk.
He only has like a couple more years of being able to see his entire head in a mirror.
Pretty soon he's going to grow a third eyeball. That is in no way related to his head size, so I apologize.
Yeah,
This is uncalled for.
That's
pretty weird.
Good try.
Like he's a mutant or something just because he's a large noggin.
He's a very large cranium.
Jimmy Neutron?
Yeah, like a...
Means he's a genius.
Yeah.
He's kind of too smart for his own good. He's doing calculus. He's doing physics already. A fun thing I like to do in the store, when we go out to restaurants, they give him like a sheet to color on, crowns and everything. When the waiter's gone, I like to do physics on the back. And just but my goal is like for the waiter never to see me doing like really crazy hard math problems on the back. And that way when they're cleaning up, they just like flip the paper over and they're like, oh my gosh, it's like a little Einstein.
That's so funny.
He couldn't even hold his fork right, but he's doing physics.
Can't write his own name.
Anyway, so I probably won't finish my glass of milk.
That's okay. So are we ready? Are we ready for this?
Absolutely.
I think so. Are we going to start with the warm?
I think we should start with the not warm.
Do you have a preference?
I do.
What's
Should I
your
reveal that?
What's your preference?
Toasted.
You prefer toasted?
Absolutely.
Prefer untoasted.
Why?
How?
I just enjoy it more. I don't know why. See, untoasted, though, like when it's toasted, it's a little less flaky.
Yeah, it falls apart. Less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're more likely to have crumbs when it's not toasted. I don't like it. I like it toasted, but I prefer it just off the shelf.
Well, I'm only going to toast it if I've got time to sit down and enjoy it. If I'm taking it on the go, I'm not going to toast it because then it won't like fall apart in my hand.
Right.
Yeah, I won't. I don't think I would just ever toast it. It's not that I don't like it toasted. It's just I'd never toast it.
Well, we found out 2 weeks ago, whenever we did the handy snacks, that you changed your preference after you had.
We'll see.
So maybe
it's been a while since I've had a toasted Pop-Tart because I just always
become a lover of it. So I guess we can just go for that first. Yes,
right,
preference.
sounds good.
So who wants to get the first one? I'll just go.
Reed went with
Wait, I thought we were doing untoasted.
Reed grabbed the toasted Pop-Tart.
You prefer toasted though,
Right.
So we can start with that.
Okay, yeah,
so we can
that's
start with that. So we're gonna kind of do this all at the same time, or do we want one at a time?
Yeah, let's
just all go for it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So
Okay,
toasted.
there's some sort of fluid all over my Pop-Tart.
Do you want to trade?
It looks like Taylor's Pop-Tart used the restroom on itself.
Or it bled or something.
Engineer Colton.
He's just shrugging like
Can't
he didn't.
you toast a Pop-Tart?
It's weird that one was on the bottom.
Smells fine.
Okay,
Now,
well, if you're fine with it, I'll
it's like
trade
a-
with you.
Let me describe this. Over the white frosting, it looks like a caramelized brown goo. It's definitely like
Keep in mind, this is strawberry flavor.
Yeah, it's not red. It's definitely brown. It has a little yellow tint. Maybe that's because of the white underneath. It looks like it's sick.
You know what? Kellogg's has my trust, so
You trust Kellogg.
I'm gonna dive in.
Can I tell you something also? I'm hungry. I'm ready.
I'm
I've been
excited.
staring at these Pop-Tarts the whole time. I'm ready.
Okay. I had a meatloaf sandwich right before I came.
You could probably care less. But let's dive
Let's
in.
do it.
Let's dive in. I've missed these.
Let me describe Reed's face. Imagine a man's body with Reed's face, chewing a pastry. That's pretty much what's going on.
I will describe Taylor's face. It looks like he knows what he got himself into, and he's just enjoying it.
Let me describe myself. Imagine a 12-year-old soccer player's body with my face. That's pretty much what's going on.
This is an audio podcast. We don't see if you don't know us personally, you may not know what our face looks like.
You can. We'll post a picture of our faces.
Just so people can see.
So if you want to see a picture of what our faces look like, you can go to our Twitter handle @Podsnack and look for a picture of our faces.
So how are you guys feeling?
I
It's delicious.
I feel fine.
The brown substance is not affecting the flavor. So
Can you taste it? Can you tell what it is?
no. And I'm not even I'm just kinda trying not to look at it as I consume it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Now, Pop-Tarts smell delicious.
Yes, I do.
They smell as good as they taste.
Get some water, guys. Hey, listeners, get some water or milk, and I'll tell you what, you're gonna need it.
So first bite, I could definitely taste the golden brown charring around the edge, and it tastes delicious.
Yeah, a little bit of my Pop-Tart is burnt. I don't know if you guys can see. So like a little blackish on one side. Only one side. The other side is perfectly golden brown.
Are you gonna eat that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, what were the calories on this? We didn't talk about nutrition.
We're gonna retrieve that box. So we can talk about that.
Engineer Colton is scurrying to the kitchen.
I will say it's not the most wholesome breakfast I've ever had.
Okay. One serving. Ooh, wowzer. One serving size is one pastry.
Whoa, mama. So,
Don't they come in packs of 2?
yeah.
They do, but one pastry is a serving size.
Guys, if you want us to eat both Pop-Tarts, just add them together.
Okay. Are you ready for what the calories are per piece?
I don't know now.
Take
Not
a guess.
really, but-
I want you guys to
For
take
one?
a guess. For one pastry, what's your guess?
250 calories.
And yours?
175.
Right in between. It's 200 calories. A pastry. And we're going to have...
Was that your guess? Reading the box?
Yeah, that was my guess
I'm
reading
gonna
the
guess
box.
200.
There's 16 grams of sugar in each one. There's 5 grams of total fat. 2 grams of protein. So if you're a bodybuilder, I don't suggest this. I would find something else.
Don't eat Pop-Tarts post-workout.
Have you guys had those protein bars
I have.
that you're supposed to eat after your workout? Mm-hmm. They taste like horrible.
Some of them aren't bad, depending
like-
on what
I
you
don't think
get.
they're that bad.
It tastes like chocolate-covered chalk.
Ooh. Okay. On the front of the box, we never talked about the box.
Let's talk about the box.
Okay, I'll talk about the box. It's blue, and it says Pop-Tarts, and it says Pop, period, Tarts. So you're probably saying it right.
Which is why I say it. Pop-Tarts.
And it says on the front, baked with real fruit, with an asterisk next to it. Now, an asterisk always means trouble. Mm-hmm. So I look on the back, and I find the asterisk, and it says filling made with equal to 10% fruit. So it is made with real fruit. It's just 10% fruit.
You know, I don't care that the fruit's not real or not.
It has pictures of strawberries all over the box. Let's see if we can find that warning. I'm curious to see if we can find that warning. Yes, due to possible risk of fire, never leave your toasting appliance or microwave unattended. It does have the warning. It gives you instructions. Says no refrigeration needed. Gives you microwave instructions, actually.
Which is a plus, because you run out of room in your refrigerator so fast.
Get this. Microwave on high for 3 seconds. And that's supposed to get you to this warmness here. It's equal to... And you know what, too? Microwave's going to make it not as crispy. Depending on your preference, that may be good, may be bad.
It's going to warm it up. At Subway, do you have them toast your sandwich or warm it up?
I'm a toaster.
Toast.
Toast it. Just toast it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cold cut sandwiches. Just not a big fan of cold sandwiches.
Engineer Colton, do you toast or warm? Don't talk if you don't have a mic.
He never gets it.
He said toast, though. No one can hear him because he talked without a mic.
Out of sight, out of mind. I know, milk is a little not cold. I'm sorry for that. Yeah.
Engineer Colton is holding a mic that is not plugged in.
And we have an open channel, but I'm not going to give it to him. Also, we don't have a cable. Sorry. Okay, so do you want to dive into the uncooked Pop-Tarts?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think I'm ready.
I enjoyed everything about that last Pop-Tart, even the burnt part.
Yeah.
Like, it tasted burnt, but like it tasted burnt in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't nasty burnt. It was still like enjoyable.
I would like to note that this Pop-Tart does not have any foreign substance on it.
brown goo.
Now I'm gonna say something. I don't know if you guys think about this the same way. Whenever I get a Pop-Tart, I look for the most heavily frosted side, and then that's where I take my first bite.
I didn't even put that much thought into it.
My favorite part of the Pop-Tart is definitely the middle of it, the overall just middle, where it's soft and gooey.
Sometimes I don't do this often. If I'm not feeling it, I'll just break off the edges. And I won't eat these. And I'll just eat the middle.
I don't like doing that because it just makes a mess. Oh, but you eat it, though. Do you eat it separately, or do you just lay it off to the side?
But see, I like getting a bite of just the middle.
Yeah. It's like sandwiches, taking the crust off your sandwich.
I'm going to say this, and I already know that I'm going to feel this way later. I am in preference of the not toasted. I'm sorry.
Let me describe
You
Taylor.
just abandoned me.
Imagine a man's body with a disappointed Taylor face on it.
Very athletic.
Very built man with Taylor's face, and Taylor's face looks disappointed. And that's pretty much what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you why. The toasted kind of gave me a bad taste in my mouth of the frosting. Maybe it was the way that it was toasted. I blame the person who toasted it.
Can you reveal the toaster settings?
How high did you have it?
It varied because the first one came out.
He's talking without a mic. I don't know how many times.
Okay, it did vary though because the first one came out burnt. Was the first one his?
Yeah.
Okay, so he had the first one. So he had the
I'm giving Engineer Colton my mic.
Okay.
It was around 2.
Okay, so at 2 out of 10, right? Yeah. 10 was the max setting.
Yes.
Okay, so 10 was the max setting out of 2. So I wouldn't go above a 2. Which 2 on a toaster's like easy stuff.
And it was a full cycle?
Yes.
He didn't break it early. Thank you for giving him a microphone the first time.
Let's just get a sound bite of that. When we ask him something, we just hit a button. Yes.
I apologize for laughing with food in my mouth.
You know what's crazy? On the untoasted Pop-Tart, I can taste. You said something you didn't like the taste of the frosting when it was toasted. I taste the frosting more. Like it's like a stronger flavor untoasted.
I agree, and I would like to say that I'm also a non-toasted convert.
Oh no.
Halfway through, I
What
realized,
is going on?
I have realized that
This is the craziest episode of Pod Snack to date.
I think it might have been the way Colton made them.
Ruins.
Because whenever I make them, they're really good.
This is crazy. Now, okay. You're not jumping on a wagon, are you? You're not, because we said we prefer the untoasted. You're not one to jump on a wagon. I know that. He may have just done a terrible job.
Yeah, no, he's just really disappointed in Engineer Colton.
As bad of a job as Colton did, I'm jumping on the wagon. It's softer. I agree with what you said. You can taste the frosting more. I just think it's better.
It's a first. To have a convert.
I enjoyed.
Well, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Converted.
it's our first guest to convert over.
After a lifetime of Pop-Tarts, preferred warm.
Maybe it's
A
just
pop-
this flavor.
A Pop-Tart fan. See, but the toasted one was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just prefer untoasted.
I apologize for the dead space. We were either swallowing or drinking.
I was drinking some milk.
All right, I've finished my second Pop-Tart. Just consumed 400 calories. And
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna have to burn some of those cows later, man.
it's funny, Taylor and I went to the gym earlier this week, and now we're here eating Pop-Tarts. Tried to be fit, couldn't do it.
Got to treat yourself.
It's a good episode of Parks and Rec.
Got to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
As this one where Ben dresses up as Batman, and he cries in the mall.
No, this is dumb. This is stupid.
I'll throw a plug in right now.
No, in your own nerdy way.
Aziz Ansari. I'll throw a plug in. Parks and Recreation. One of my favorite television shows. Thursday nights on NBC. It's the last season. Because Chris Pratt's going to be a big time movie star. He just starred in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's going to star in the new Jurassic Park. This is a podcast. This is a podcast. Within a podcast. This is an Inception.
Podcast.
Welcome to Talkin' TV. I'm your host, Josh. Let me describe myself. Imagine a man's body with my face. That's pretty much what's going on.
My name is Reed, and imagine the same thing with a larger body, a little bit shorter, and with my face and hair on it.
And we're here with our good friend Taylor Punch. Imagine Taylor's body.
Good to be here.
Imagine Taylor's body with Taylor's face on it. And that's pretty much what's going on here. Today, we're talking about Parks and Recreation. Some people like to call it Parks and Rec. Do you agree with that? Like, does it deserve to have its whole title said Parks and Recreation? Or do you say Parks and Rec?
For the television show?
Yeah, for the television show, not the city department.
Whenever I search on Netflix, Parks and Rec, I stop there because then it figures it out. So I do Parks and Rec.
What do you call it, though?
Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Because that's what I search on Netflix.
That's what I call it. It's one of my favorite television shows. It stars Amy Poehler as Leslie Knope. It stars Adam Scott as Adam Scott. It stars Aziz Ansari as Aziz Ansari. And Chris Pratt's going to be a big-time movie star.
I also like this show.
As do I.
This has been another great episode of Talkin' TV. Welcome back to Snackology. We just finished all of our Pop-Tarts. One
So-
toasted, one untoasted.
For the last couple of bites of my Pop-Tart, I got real experimental, and I dipped the Pop-Tart in my milk.
You went
Thank you
crazy.
for doing that. Thank you. We didn't think of that.
It was great.
And you dipped the untoasted Pop-Tart.
It was untoasted, yeah,
See, I feel like the toasted Pop-Tart would have been better dipped in
probably, especially if they're made correctly.
See, now I talked about not liking Engineer Colton ruined this podcast.
We were also unprepared. So
But a little backstory, Colton did so much for this podcast. Thank you. We appreciate you a ton. But
He really helped us out.
You ruined the Pop-Tarts. I talked about this a little earlier. I don't like mixing my warm stuff with my cold stuff, but I do like dipping like warm cookies in cold milk. Is that the same? That's different, right? Because it's not ice cream on cake.
I
guess,
find it almost hypocritical, but then I get your point because ice cream isn't nearly as cold as milk is. However, milk.
And see, but then when I dip the ice,
I can't get a brain.
Ice cream isn't nearly as cold as
No,
milk.
I meant it the other way around. I apologize.
Okay,
I meant
alright.
it the other way around.
Proceed.
yeah, I just ignored what you said. It's like I know what he means. So will every listener. is that when I dip the cookie in the milk, it's not like I'm eating like I don't get it. Just kind of cools the cookie down. I'm not getting the cold with the hot, so I'm still. It's still valid, right? That I don't like mixing my hot and my cold.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think so.
Because I'm not getting a bite of hot and cold. It's just
They
like
kind of
a
fuse
little
together,
It's
and
just a little
just
cool.
makes it a neutral
Yeah, like a cool down cookie.
heat.
Can I tell you something that I do instead of that? Rather than dipping a warm cookie, I eat the warm cookie, then take a drink of milk. I dip a cool cookie or a dry cookie, but I don't dip a warm cookie.
See, I only dip warm cookies.
See, that disgusts me.
Taylor,
I apologize. That
we think of you differently than we did 30 seconds ago.
okay. Well, I'm just saying. Maybe a warm cookie. It's fresh, right? So maybe it'll fall apart easier. I don't want a tenth of my cookie in my milk.
Mm-hmm. See, I do dislike at the end
want
of the
that piece of my
I do
milk.
dislike at the end of the milk when all the crumbs are there. I don't like to drink that.
Oh, I love to drink that.
It's like gross. It's like little breadcrumbs. I don't think of it as cookie. I think of it as like little breadcrumbs.
Well, it's kind of like
Wow.
I know for a fact we've had many sleepovers together as youngins.
As little boys.
As recently as a few nights ago.
I know.
As little boys and big boys.
I know that you with cereal, you drink the milk
I do.
at the end. After you finish the cereal, you drink the milk.
You should.
Always. Yes.
Do you not do that, Reed?
I don't.
Why?
I know
Do you
several
throw it?
people
You
that
throw
don't.
it away?
And I'm no longer friends with the people that told me they don't drink
He's
the milk.
making an exception for you just because you guys have known each other for so long.
I don't do it because the milk's not cold. I can't.
What if the milk is still cold? Will you drink it then?
Yeah,
Will you
but
drink,
that's
will you
never
drink,
the
will
case.
you drink that milk?
That's never the
Will you
case.
drink that
after-
milk?
It's never the
What
case
if
after you have a bowl of cereal.
What if it's a chocolate cereal and it turns it chocolatey?
I know this is blasphemy, but it's still just not something I do.
See, I'm not a milk fan, but it just tastes too good to not drink it. It tastes just so much better. It tastes
I
like
agree.
It tastes like your cereal that you just ate.
Yeah.
What about Kix?
You must be eating horrible cereal. That's what this is.
Are
That
you?
may be the case. Okay, maybe I'm eating horrible cereal, but it's not horrible for me. Maybe I'm eating oatmeal squares, but I'm not
Do you
having
eat
Cocoa
Raisin Bran?
What are those?
Pebbles. Once in a while.
They're like little like oat things, and their mascot is a frog.
Yes.
What are those called?
Oh, Taylor's the expert on this.
Anyway, I
can't think of
I
it.
think they kind of smell like urine.
Well, now everybody's had their boats blown up for the
Yeah.
thought of that.
They smell
That's
like
not even
they
a thing.
smell like dog pee, and I don't like that cereal.
Well, and like the cereal that I know in Fruit Loops. Do you drink the Fruit Loop milk?
Yes. All the time.
I would drink that milk.
It tastes great. I mean,
I just don't. I just don't.
do
I
you
don't.
just pour it in the sink?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. I do.
Wow.
I do. I just pour it in the sink.
Wow,
then
wow.
Then I rinse the bowl out and get rid of the rest because I don't want milk sitting in the bowl for a long time.
All right. Wow. Let's move on.
Let me describe Taylor. Imagine a man's body with Taylor's face with just disappointment in his eyes. Just years of friendship, just it's crushing.
Well, hopefully not.
I think
still love you.
I think
Don't go.
you can redeem yourself. And the next time you have a bowl of cereal, just take a drink of the milk.
Just
put
record
it-
yourself drinking
Just post
milk.
it.
Just
post
take
it,
a selfie of you
post
with
it-
the milk.
a public apology online.
I'll put it in my freezer, then drink it, so it's cold.
Drop
You could do that. That seems pretty difficult.
drop an ice cube in there.
Oh yes. Oh,
That's pretty gross.
Drop a frozen milk cube.
milk and ice.
I've never done it.
Never done it. Never will.
Never will. Well, what are our thoughts on the Pop-Tart? Since that's what we've been trying to talk about. What are our closing thoughts here?
Fantastic as usual.
And you were a convert.
I am a convert.
Not a
At least-
not a convict.
temporarily until I make one properly and reassess.
We're all winners here, Josh. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I'm going to give my rating.
Yes.
I'm going to rate the two together. I'm just going to rate the Pop-Tart as a whole. Toasted or untoasted. 4.5 out of 5.
What killed that half a point? Being the perfect snack.
I don't know, it's just something about it still not like the total snack. Maybe because it is kind of like a more considered a breakfast food and not just like an all-time any-purpose snack, which you can anytime. We're filming this at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's perfectly like okay to eat now. You can eat it whenever you want, but it's still like considered a breakfast type of food, and so it's just not quite perfect. It is extremely delicious. It's my highest rating.
It is.
And I think it deserves it.
What would your rating be, Taylor?
I would agree with the 4.5 out of 5.
What kills that half a point for you?
It might have been the strawberry flavor. It's not my favorite flavor, but I still really like it. I don't know.
Or is it just how you feel? It can just be how you feel.
I don't like to give out 5.
Yeah.
And
Fives.
so
5s are hard to give out, even though I gave one out last week. I gave out a 5 last week.
Yeah.
Gave it a 5er.
But you really liked it.
I did really enjoy those.
Stand by your 5.
Standing by that 5. Those are excellent. I wish they'd produce those in a larger bag. My rating for the Pop-Tarts would have to be a 4 out of 5. Forget that.
what kills the point?
The whole point for me is the aftertaste. I need more milk right now. I need more milk. I drank the whole mug, but I need more milk. Maybe it is the strawberry flavor. I'm not sure. Maybe it's that. But there's something about the aftertaste that I'm just not digging. I love the taste in the middle of it.
You know what's crazy? It didn't make my mouth that dry. The toasted one made my mouth a little drier than the untoasted, which you think would be the opposite.
It gives me a little bit of the cookie effect. Just the way that cookies make me want to have milk. Mm-hmm. It's not that it's dry. It just makes me want milk.
Unlike cookies, I get like cookies stuck in my teeth. Like they get real gummy. Pop-Tarts, not that problem.
Would you think you'd have a problem with that because of the jelly?
Mm-hmm. Not that problem. No problem.
Absolutely.
With the Pop-Tart.
Yeah, so I stand by my 4 out of 5. So we have 2 4.5s and 1 4. I just didn't like the aftertaste. Josh said there was something about it just because it's more of a breakfast snack, and Taylor wasn't 100% sure, but it was just kind of a
great snack.
I think it was a great
phenomenal snack.
But not a fiber, though.
Not the strawberry.
What is your favorite flavor? We gotta know.
I love the s'mores flavor. Mm-hmm. I know it's exotic.
That's too crazy for me. I'm a simpleton.
Don't say that, Josh. It makes you think you're not smart. I'm a simpleton. You're a very smart.
It just sounds too sweet for me. I've never had one. I can't fully judge it. I've never had one. It just sounds
s'mores,
too sweet.
It's a great example of one that is absolutely 100% better toasted.
Yeah,
really?
I think I would kind of have to do the s'mores toast.
Yeah.
When you think of s'more, you have to have a warm s'more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something we could do is all separately. We can just have a s'mores Pop-Tart and then just kind of talk about it. Maybe not so much in a podcast. Maybe we can just kind of give our thoughts on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about in person. A lot of people don't know this. We don't talk in person. We only talk every 2 weeks when we come record. We see each other occasionally. We just ignore each other and walk on by, and we save everything for the podcast.
And Josh and I work together.
Yeah, so it gets very hard.
We sit across from each other sometimes.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, me and Reed work together.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day, was it yesterday? I was making a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Reed, and I forgot how hot coffee is. And I just took a giant, swig of coffee, a giant mouthful of coffee. And my animal instinct kicked in, and I just opened my mouth and spit all the coffee out. And it got all over my face and my shirt.
It was kind of more of a leak. It kind of fell from your face.
Yeah, I didn't spit it out. I just opened my mouth, and all the coffee just ran down.
So imagine a dog that has no control of its mouth and it drinks some water and
I didn't do it on.
forgets.
Yeah, I didn't do it on purpose. This happened like half a second. I just, as soon as the coffee like was all in my mouth, I just opened my mouth.
It's the funniest thing I've seen all day.
It was embarrassing.
That day was the funniest thing. And it was funny.
I think it's time for plugs.
I think so. Josh, you're the plug guy.
Taylor, what would you like to plug? You want to plug anything?
Not really. I don't even know what to say.
I would like to plug Pop-Tarts. I think Pop-Tarts are a good snack. Good job, Kellogg's. I'd also like to plug our Twitter at Podsnack. I'd like to plug my Twitter. It's at Dowdy23. I rarely tweet, but when I do, it's boring. So you probably don't want to follow me. I'd like to plug Taylor's Twitter handle at
Taylor Punch with a T, PUNTCH.
yeah. So get that right. You can follow him. He's
My tweets are absolutely horrible.
yeah. So we're really selling our Twitter right now. You can follow Reed at Reed A May.
My tweets are mostly about the weather.
I like all
I
your
just
tweets.
retweet stuff. I don't even think of my own tweets.
I love tweeting about the weather. I tweeted today about what the weather was. It was awesome. And Coldplay last night because it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my two most recent tweets. And I retweet a lot.
I write a lot of tweets and then I just save them in my drafts and I just never send them out.
And some of them are great. Some of them are great. A lot of them are
So
great.
whenever I have like a random dumb thought, I'll just like type it out, but I won't tweet it because I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea. So I have a ton of tweets in my draft. folder.
favorite this.
I don't favorite things.
I've started to recently.
I don't favorite things.
I like to favorite things. An example of a tweet that I had in my draft folder for a while was that eating soup is a great way to eat wet meat out of a little bathtub. And that was in my draft folder for like a year.
And it finally got
And I
tweeted.
tweeted it
It
out.
finally got tweeted, and I was happy to see it. So, and also we'd like to plug our podcast. So if you're not listening to this podcast, you probably should look on iTunes, search for Snackology, and we're going to be right up there. You won't have a problem finding us.
Then we're going to close up the plug bag. No more plugs. Hey, if you want to plug something, too bad, fella. I'm looking at Reed.
There's nothing else to plug. Hey, well, we had such a fun time doing the Pop-Tarts and
Had a
having this
blast.
having this conversation.
Great first guest.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be actually able to listen to this on your way home. I don't know, whenever you're going back to Lubbock, but
Taylor does not
Yeah,
live.
I'll be listening.
so he'll be hearing himself
Unfortunately, Taylor does not live in the same town we do.
only for one more year, though.
He lives in a
Only
different
one more year.
state.
So maybe we'll have him back for another. Maybe we'll go to the World Market and get a UK specific snack and just
All
have
right.
Some crisps. Those are chips.
it. Yes, we can. I have those in my cupboard, which that's also a UK word, cupboard.
Yes, it is.
So perfect.
You keep your crisps in your cupboard. My favorite TV show is Doctor Who, which is from the UK.
And mine is Top Gear, which is also from the UK. Well, I don't know,
And mine is Sherlock,
which is also from the UK.
which is also from the UK.
So big shout out to the United Kingdom, big UK, on the other side of the pond.
I like all those shows. Is this an episode of Talking TV?
I don't know. I think we're just stating things we like.
Yeah, this is not an episode. If you're wondering what podcast you're listening to right now, you are listening to Snackology. You are not listening to Talking TV.
That was earlier.
It was a different podcast. It's
Fast forward.
unrelated. This
back.
podcast is about snacks.
Get it.
And snacks alone. It's the only thing we talk about is snacks.
As I said, this is the fastest growing podcast in the world. So,
Top trending in our community.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I think we're going to go ahead and close. Remember to follow us on Twitter to keep up with what's going on and the next snap coming up. you can go to our little kind of fun, tiny website at bit.ly/Snackology. And you can listen on SoundCloud or find us on iTunes. Just go ahead and search Snackology. We had a wonderful time having a conversation. Thank you so much to our very first guest at Taylor Punch.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you guys again for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
And thank you so much for listening again. It was an excellent podcast. Thank you so much. And we will see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of Snackology. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.